risotto rice. A lot of people use a long grain rice, but we're actually making a risotto rice to use for our arancinis. Sammy has already started, because this is a long process.
When it started.
Yep, 6 tablespoons of olive oil heated. Then we added 2 pounds of risotto. Or arborio rice, I'm sorry, arborio rice. And then we're going to add 8 cups of chicken broth.
Chicken broth.
And so Sammy's stirring right now, and then I'm going to add some chicken broth, not yet, Sammy. And then we just keep, adding the broth. It has to absorb into the rice. Then you add some more broth, and you keep doing the adding of the broth until it's all absorbed into the risotto rice. So this is the first part of our arancini process. Making the risotto, it has to cool down. We add egg and cheese to it. Then we have to make a meat filling, and we also have to then fry these balls, because it is a risotto rice ball that we're making. And it's a wonderful appetizer in Sicily.
Okay, that's what I dinner.
It's an appetizer, Sam.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So anyway, so I have to help her now, and we'll just do this real quick, and then I'll come back when it's finished. You don't need to watch for 30 minutes. And right now you can hear it sizzling. Let's make sure all the oil has been absorbed into the risotto. Keep it down. All right, so ready, Sammy? I'm going to add.
Broth.
Yep. We're going to keep adding. You got to stir it all in till it absorbs. So this is a long process, and this is going to take us about 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
But right now, we just keep adding the broth in like 2 cups at a time until it's all absorbed, and then that makes our risotto. And this is so delicious, and I can't wait to show you the whole process. So we'll be back when we get this risotto finished.
Finished.
So we have finished the risotto by doing the risotto, and it absorbed all the broth. Then we added a cup of Parmesan cheese to our 2 pounds of risotto rice and 4 beaten eggs. Now I know some of the recipes for arancinis don't add the eggs, but my mother-in-law does, and like somebody said to me, if the wheel ain't broke, don't fix it. So even though I'm doing risotto rice, arborio rice. So now we're also making a meat sauce. It's kind of like a bolognese, but I'm using 1 pound of hamburger, 2 pounds of Italian sausage, and Sammy right now is chopping it up and cooking.
Chopping it up.
That's right. And we also added minced carrot, onion, and celery, a mirepoix of that is a basic the trifecta, what is it, the golden something. But anyway, those 3 making 1.5 cups of celery. So I did like 1/2 cup of onion, 1/2 cup of carrots, and 1/2 cup of celery all minced. And it's now in there. Sammy's going to do that. Then we're going to add a can almost of puree. This is San Marzano puree. I don't use anything but San Marzano. That is tomato paste that Sammy's going to add. And then we're going to stir that up, and when that settles down, we'll add a bag of peas. This is a double recipe, so you don't need to add a bag of peas. But we do, because this is a big family gathering, and we're making about 24 arancini balls. This is something that we will fry in a bit, but right now we're doing the sauce, and we'll get back to you once we've got all the ingredients in and show you what it looks like once we've added the sauce, or the puree, the tomato paste and the peas. And what's really nice is if you have leftover, this is really great. You just add more tomatoes and puree and make a bolognese and serve it over pasta. But this is what we are using as the stuffing for our arancini balls. My mother-in-law uses a pork shoulder, like a ragu, but we're not doing the pork, we're doing the sausage and the peas and the hamburger. So we'll be right back. So this is the stuffing that we're making. It's simmering for 30 minutes, and then we have to let this cool. So this is your hamburger, your sausage, your peas, your carrots, your onion and celery that will be inside. As you can tell that it's a very dry thing because this is a stuffing. It's not supposed to be wet like a sauce. So we're letting it simmer, and then we're going to let it cool down, and then we'll make the arancinis in about an hour. But it has to cool down. So this is the risotto rice that we've added the Parmesan cheese and the eggs. It's cooled for over an hour, and now we're going to assemble it using the meat and peas sauce that will be on the inside. We dip the balls into the egg wash and into Italian breadcrumb. Then we're going to fry them. So here we're going to show you how we assemble. Now we're going to assemble the arancinis. I have to tell you, do it with wet hands because this rice is so sticky because of the egg and the cheese. So right now I'm making a patty so that I can put some meat sauce in it.
And I dip.
Instead of using a spoon, I'm using my fingers.
And I dip.
Yeah, and because it is so sticky, it's easier. Oh. These are so not attractive, but they're so good. So you just keep making a ball, making a ball, making a ball. And
then I dip.
Then Sammy rolls it in egg. You had it all around?
Good.
Okay.
And
And then she rolls it in Italian breadcrumb. Some people just use plain breadcrumb. Some use panko breadcrumb.
Now put it here.
We're making these.
Pop it.
Yes, they're perfect. But it is a messy thing, and after I get done with this, I'll show you
How you fry them?
how we fry them. But I'm going to put together a few of them. You don't need to keep watching us as we assemble these. And like I said, after every ball, I actually rinse off my hands.
I dip.
And she dips. Get it all the way around. You can use both fingers, both hands. Do it that way, yep. And then roll it in the breadcrumb, and they're ready to fry.
Ready to fry.
So now we're making our marinara sauce. It's my mother-in-law's recipe. We use extra virgin olive oil, a whole clove or head of garlic, minced, and 1.5 cans of puree and 5 cans of San Marzano tomatoes. I only use San Marzano because when we were in Italy, it was the only tomatoes used for their sauces. The garlic is put in hot extra virgin olive oil. Don't ask me how much extra virgin olive oil. I eyeball it. So let's say you just want like maybe 1/4 of an inch layer of extra virgin olive oil at the bottom of your pot. And then you put in your minced garlic, and as it's cooking, it starts to sizzle. Then you know that it's ready to add the puree. You never want to cook your garlic to where it's brown because it makes it bitter. So then we added the puree, and we also blended all the chopped tomatoes. The San Marzanos is only in, here, you have to go close, your fingers. So see, this is Flora. It's one of the cans that we like to use. It says San Marzano. If it doesn't say San Marzano on the can, it's not authentic San Marzano tomatoes. So when you're in the store, it could be Cento, it could be Flora. Whole Foods has one that's a generic, even Fresh Market, it was a generic, but it said San Marzano. As long as it has that on, then you know it's an authentic one. Only in Italy is this region used for San Marzano, for their fresh tomatoes. It doesn't taste acidic. I don't like the American tomatoes that are used. It has to be San Marzano. You'll find a big difference, and it's not that I'm a snob, it's just, if you want to do it right, do it the right way that the Italians do. And they only use San Marzano tomatoes. They don't buy cheap stuff. And it's really not that expensive when you think about the quality. So Sammy is now babysitting it. We're gonna add some,
Everything.
Sammy's gonna shake in some crushed red pepper.
But,
Put it in. And now I've got a cheat. Instead of using fresh basil, that's good. Show everybody the bag. I actually
basil.
buy fresh basil and then freeze it. I also have basil in my garden. That's the only thing the squirrels and rabbits don't eat. And so when I'm getting it, I put it in here. And when the leaves are broken up, you don't have to chop it up. So it's already, once you get it out of the freezer, you just crunch, 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 crunch. And you put in a bag. There you go, Sammy. Put it in. And that is our tomato sauce. You can just dump it in. Don't put it on your fingers. Dump the bag.
I've done the bag, the whole thing.
Yep, the whole thing. And now we're gonna have it cook for about an hour on simmer and let it cool, and then we'll put it together with the arancinis and
Arancinis.
the manigots. So that is our Italian sauce that we serve at Easter. Well, it's actually the family
So the
sauce.
stir,
Yep. So this is it, and we're gonna let it simmer for an hour, and we'll be back to show you how we fry up the arancinis.
Arancini.
So this is what our sauce looks like with all the ingredients: the basil, the garlic, the tomatoes, the puree, and the extra virgin olive oil. It simmers for an hour, and we stir it constantly. But see, there's no film of olive oil floating on top. We try not to make it too greasy. But this is what it looks like. Right now, Sammy is frying the rice balls. As you can see, we have them all right next to her, and she just has to watch them, make sure that they get golden brown, and then we'll drain them on a paper towel, get the grease off of them, and then they're ready to eat with our marinara sauce. So that is how we make the arancinis, and we'll be serving it with manigotti and the sauce. And this has been another episode of Cooking with Sammy.